So anytime there's like a join special, I'm always taking that and talking to people about it, telling them, hey, this is the current join special. This is what Sissy's offering. You know, like, what do you think? Because sometimes people say, well, I don't have enough money, and then the $49 special comes around. You know, so just using those to your benefit is one point that I have. So definitely always using the join specials, whether it's the $49, the enhanced kit, whatever it is. The second one was, so Heather talked a little bit last week about using like personal ways to connect with people, and instead of just asking someone straight out, how do we connect with them on a personal level and really kind of get into what their life is and what they do and different stuff like that. So one of the other points that I wrote down is just like connecting with them on a personal level and telling them like real life things about, like, how does Cincy help you? Like, how does it bless you? How does it bless your family? If they ask you, like, how much you make a month, you know, being honest with them and talking with them about how much you make or what it does for your family, what bills you pay, like really telling them like real life stuff instead of like making it something that it may not be, or telling them about somebody else. They will connect better if you tell them how it helps you or how it helps you and your family. So that has really helped me in the past. Like somebody will ask me, well, how much do you make with Cincy for real? Because sometimes they don't really believe you can make money with it. Or they'll say like, well, how much do you actually have to work on the business? And I'll be honest with them and I'll actually share like what I have to do every month or how much I actually make every month. So the first one was join specials. The second one was just being real and honest about what you do with your business and how well you do and what you do time management. The third one is following up with people who wanted to join before. So in order to close the deal, you obviously have to follow up. So if you have, I think last week Heather had you guys write down like a list of people who you thought were potential recruits. So like, have you followed up with those people? You know, if you haven't followed up with them, then there's no way in you knowing if they want to actually join or if they want to go through with it. So just keep, what I do is I keep like, I have an iPhone, so I don't know what you guys have, but in the little like notes section, I have like a running list of people who want to join or they want to like buy or what they want to buy. I gotta find it and I'll show you. So this is like my on my phone, my list of like different people or whatever that I think want to join or have mentioned it to me in the past or a really good customer. Those are the people like I write down and I follow up. Anytime we have like a special or just following up a couple weeks later if they've mentioned it. So you have to follow up in order for people to actually say yes. So asking them and actually following up and for them to say yes. So that's my third one. And then my fourth one, which has been the biggest one for me, has been trial basket parties. So like right now this month I have a girl who has a basket party, and it's kind of like a trial for her to see how she would do like as a consultant. And she really wants to join, and she's asked me multiple times in the past, and she was asking me a bunch of questions. And so I said, hey, why don't you take this basket party? I'll give you everything you need and try it out and see how you do. I was like, that's going to be the biggest indicator of what type of work you're going to have to do, like how successful you can be, all of that stuff. Like because she was really worried, like, what if people don't want to buy it, and what if this, and what if that? Well, the only way you're going to know is if you try. So I told her, I was like, just try and see how it goes. You can ask me any questions, because then that way they know that they can ask you anything, but they're also actually doing the work themselves. And you also kind of get an idea of what they're going to be like and how you can kind of mold them and train them to be a consultant. So with basket parties, always trying to like flip your hostess. So like if you have customers who do really well or always are buying from you, get them to host. And if they're hosting for you, see if they'll want to split their parties. If they're always having really big parties, those are the people you want to look at because they're already doing the work. You know, they're already doing everything that they need to do to be a consultant, and you can help kind of push them along the way. So, definitely the basket parties, that's a really big one that always helps me. So those are my 4 points tonight. It was just so always using the join specials, getting with people about that, using those to kind of help reel people in and say, hey, look, it's $49 this month. This is what you get, and helping them kind of move forward and take the next step. Being honest with them about kind of how successful you are and how well you're doing and how it's helping you. Following up with people, and then the 4th one was the trial run basket parties and flex flipping your hostesses. So do any of the directors have anything that they want to add to any of that?
Personally, I loved what you said about giving them the basket party. Because I've done that where a lot of people have been like insecure toward being star and that like they wouldn't get it, and so I would give them the basket party and basically like they hit, you know, free shipping or this and that, I would go ahead and just say, hey, okay, well, now you can join, and, you know, definitely hit shooting star, and like that boosted confidence. So I loved that.
I will say that probably 80% of my recruits came from being a hostess of some sort. So I think always offering, well, let me take that back. 80% of my quality recruits came from being a hostess of some sort. So basket parties are a super good way for the really insecure people. I don't say insecure in a bad way. I don't mean that judgmentally. Sorry. But the people that are a little more hesitant to join, I think the basket parties are a perfect way to ease them into things, and then offering flipping your party at the end, regardless of what kind of party it is always a good idea, because it's kind of like trying out for your team. If they do well with a party, then you know that they're going to do well at least as being an active team member, even if that's just being active once every 3 months. And then as far as following up, one thing that I do, I don't think a lot of people do this, so if you already know about it, sorry. But one thing that I do is I have a group chat on my phone on Facebook. So it's a group Facebook chat, and I know a lot of people hate them, but I try not to blow it up. But I ask people before I add them to my group chat, and the group chat that I use specifically for join messages, I always let them know whenever we have any join specials, and then I will I would say maybe at least once a month, but sometimes twice a month and not much more than that. I'll just post like join specials, and if we don't have a particular join special, then I'll post stuff to try and get them to host. So any specials that we have for hosting for the month, or any warmer of the month that may be appeasing to people, whatever I think that can get them to host, so that they don't necessarily know that I'm talking to them about joining, but if I can get them to host, then we can have that conversation again. So using whatever system you would like to use, whether it's a one-on-one or group chat or whatever, I feel like my group chat has been good because I've been able to connect with a group of people so that they don't feel like they have to answer me back saying yes or no about anything in particular. But it's a good way to keep them informed about the specials of any sort, but especially the join specials. Incentive trip periods, I always let them know whenever we're starting a trip period. Stuff like that. So I try and just keep them informed, but kind of in a non-scary way.
I like that, and also makes sure they're not like getting annoyed with group text. I mean, I hate it alone when my team does that, where they're like, "Don't text me." I'm like, "Oh, okay," when it's
Yeah.
a group thing. But so you just like text them
And
periodically?
I say pretty frequently that you're always welcome to leave the group. I'll never be offended if you feel like, this isn't for you. I try and put that out there at least a couple of times a year so that way people know. But I think that's also a reason why it's very important to ask them before you just throw them into the group chat. Because if they really genuinely do not want the information, then there's no point in blasting them with it. But if it's somebody who is just not ready right now, like they know I can imagine, I'm pregnant right now. I can imagine offering this opportunity to somebody who's in my shoes right now. I legitimately would be like, I can't do anything else right now, but maybe once I get my head back on straight, I could maybe do this. And so for somebody like that who may be interested in a year or a year and a half, I think it's good for them to be able to stay connected a little bit, but not feel pressured.
I like it. And another thing, I feel like for getting them to go ahead and sign up is kind of what I said on the last call. I kind of went a little overboard on that one, but getting them to face, at least in a coffee shop or on your phone and FaceTime, whatever you can do so they can see your face. Like, hey, are you ready? Let's go ahead and sign you up. You kind of have to be like the one to drop the ball on that one. Okay, let's go ahead and do this, because if you don't do it, typically they're not going to do it. But and then that's really scary because you feel like, oh, well, what if I ask you to go ahead and sign up, and then now you feel pressure, and so now you don't want to do it. Now you're never going to sign up. Well, if they're not going to sign up, they're not going to sign up, and you asking if they're ready face to face isn't going to make or break that. They might say no, but if you're face to face, they're going to tell you why they're saying no. No, I can't right now because I don't have the money. And then you can be like, okay, well, let's do a party. If it's 500, you get to sign up for free, or you can make your money back instantly and hit Shooting Star. Your choice. But that's way it's not just no and then they're ignoring your text now because now they've told you no, and it's hard to tell somebody no anyway. And so that would be my number one tip if you're wanting to get somebody to go ahead and sign up that you've already coached along, is to try and meet up with them, whether it's FaceTime or in a coffee shop or going to their house. Makes a big difference because this is also the connection with that as well.
Yeah. The other thing is too, like, when someone says like, oh, I don't have the money, or oh, I don't have the time and stuff like that, well, of course, we've all kind of been there and thought different things like that too. So just being honest with them and saying like, hey, I understand, like, I'm super busy too, but this is how I manage my business. And then that way they're like, oh, well, I can do this. Because a lot of people will say like, I don't have the time to put into it. But I'm like, I literally maybe work my business 15 to 20 minutes a day. Like, there's stuff that you can do throughout the day to make it not seem so overwhelming. And they're like, oh, okay, like, I didn't know that was possible,
Right.
So they just think that you have to spend so much time, but that's not really accurate. So just having, just being honest, like I said, about where you're at in your business and what you do to be successful. Like, if they say they don't have time or they don't have money, just different stuff like that, having a way to kind of reassure them, like, that there's different ways to do it. Everybody has different ways of doing things.
I love it. Do you guys have any questions?
Yeah.
Sam, give us a question.
I don't have any questions. Sorry, I was muted.
Well, give a question that you think somebody might ask. Like what you wish you would have asked in the beginning when you first joined, not the second time.
Like about anything?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't think on the spot.
What about you, Gloria?
Back.
Is Gloria on here?
She is. I see her pretty beautiful face. Gloria, do you have any questions?
She might be muted.
Oh no. I think she's typing.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
My thingy was off.
Oh, okay.
I think in the beginning, I probably would have asked my sponsor what she actually made, because I think she made it out to be where she made more than what she's actually making, because now that I'm a consultant, I'm selling more than she is and I'm making more than she is. But in the beginning, she made it like she was making pretty good money, and she really didn't say she worked her business. She didn't do samples. She didn't do anything. That she just sat in the house and, people just ordered off of her website, and that's what was keeping her afloat. So I didn't even know about samples and anything until later on because I had to figure it all out myself. So I think a really big deal to me is make sure you're a good leader and give them the facts,
Mhm.
because if you don't give them the facts, they're going to have an expectation that they're not going to ever be able to live up to. And that's kind of where I was in the beginning until I figured it out. And with the help of some of my other friends, Felicia and Heather and Sam, that I'm actually turning things around for myself, which I wasn't able to do before.
Yeah, Gloria's killing it. Gloria is our adopted family member. Her sponsor lives in New York, I believe, right? And or who was her sponsor, and then that person dropped off, and so now she's under someone random. And anyway, she's part of our
Yeah,
family.
that was really good because you're exactly right. That's why, like, I found in the past, like, if I've sugarcoated anything in the past or been like, it's really easy, and then got people have signed up and then they maybe weren't successful. I am very honest with people now, like, you're not gonna just make money by doing nothing. Like, you have to do stuff, you have to work your business. And I found that, like, the more honest I am, then I'm gonna end up getting people who really want to work the business and really want to, like, actually do something. So
Right.
that was good.
I generally say, like, depends on how much effort you're willing to give it. If you give it 25, and everybody's effort looks differently. Like, I can get a lot done in an hour because that's what I'm used to. But somebody else might need 3 hours to do in an hour. So I don't mean time-wise, but I just mean effort-wise. However much effort you're willing to give is how much results you're going to see. And to note that what you do in January isn't going to reflect until February. And so you're always supposed to work in your business a month ahead. And so just so they see that as well, just like going to the gym. You can't go to the gym and expect to lose weight the first time you go. You have to go at least a month before you see any results. And it's kind of the same way. That way they're also prepared for the future and when to start to expect to see a difference in their business.
That was really all I had, you guys. The only thing I was gonna say is, like, maybe in the next week or so, try one of these, like Heather said, face to face, meeting up with somebody, or flipping a hostess, or putting like a trial basket party out there, just to kind of see how it goes for you and see if that kind of helps push someone to kind of join. And even like with this being the last few days of having the enhanced kit, like reaching out to people and like telling them about the special would even be worth it to see, if that's kind of what someone needs to kind of move forward. But that would just be my challenge for you, is to utilize the things that Cincy offers us and like the basket parties and stuff to kind of push people to join, because if they're ready to join, then those are the types of things that are going to really have them kind of step forward and move forward with it. Well, that was all I had.
It was very good. All right, I'm going to stop recording it then.